Well, our brand new Roofnest Condor 2XL has just arrived, and arrived on time, actually, right at the beginning of our arrival window. So I'm really excited to open this thing up and see if there's any damages or anything from the shipping. Can't wait to get this thing mounted on top of the Leitner ACS forged bed rack on my 2022 Ram Power Wagon. So yeah, the only thing I really noticed here was this hole in the box. It looks like there could be a minor scratch or something right there. And the only other thing is I noticed just how this is the Leaning Tower of Pisa here. No, just kidding. Looks like it's maybe because of the contour of the tent. It's not resting perfectly flat on that side, but I'm gonna flip this thing on its side and get this thing opened here. I like that Line-X. Feels really good. It's not too abrasive, but gives it some texture and some protection. Brought that wooden pallet back in here to set the roof nest on to kind of get it up off the floor and away from the staples. I didn't want to open that with the staples on the boxes there, so I want to kind of elevate it a little bit. But the problem with that is the lid drapes over the sides here. Unless you prop it up from underneath, it's resting on the lid itself. It's a good thing the crossbar is kind of lifted up just a tad. That is a lot of rooftop tent. I like how it has this rope here to kind of pull the fabric in. There's a box in the back. I don't want to put all my weight on this thing yet. Okay, yeah, this is it. Oh my goodness. I like this. I like that you don't have to use a pole, but cumbersome if you're opening this up on the ground. Keep in mind, this is not how it was intended to be used. Even with the amount of space this hard shell cover allows for, I still found it difficult to close the cover unless all of the fabric was tucked away as to not get in the way of the gas strut. I ran into this same issue once it was installed on the truck. Even with that little rope it comes with, still ends up being some fabric. But once you tuck the tent fabric away enough, it does eventually shut with a decent amount of push. All that to make sure it had the mounting hardware here. Got these, which I won't need, but definitely need these. More end caps. Yes. Actually, I might want to get shorter versions of these. I'm going to be using Leitner's, I don't know, they're proprietary brackets that allow you to mount a rooftop tent. Fasten it down to using the extrusion rails that are on the side of their load bars. So these might be a little bit long. I mean, they'll work for now, but these were made to use these brackets. Nice little pouch. I was expecting a cardboard box. Well, I'm sorry I didn't get it on video, but I was finally able to get the Roofnest tent up onto the Leitner Designs roof rack with the help of a friend of mine and my daughter and his daughter. This thing is a pretty heavy beast, 180 pounds. And you know, it's quite heavy to get up and not only just lift it up, but getting up as high as it is up here on the Ram Power Wagon with the Leitner rack. I mean, it's pushing 8 feet, 96 inches high. I mean, that's on top of, we measured the whole height of it and it's 96 inches off the ground. So still can make it through the drive-through pretty well. Most of those are 9 feet, but definitely probably not going to be able to park in any parking structures, most parking structures anytime soon or ever again. But since I really won't be taking this on an awful lot, I think it's going to become kind of a permanent fixture since I can't just back it into the garage and use a hoist. It won't fit into the garage, even though I do have a hoist that I can use to lift this tent up off the rack. It's just not going to fit into the garage itself to do that. So, but I am really excited to finally open up the Roofnest tent on top and installed to the Leitner rack on the Ram Power Wagon. So once you undo these two straps, it should just mainly open up. I have to jump up here a little bit. There we go. Oh wait, put down that cord. Crucial step. When opening the ladder, step on the lowest cross piece with 1 foot and lift upwards to reach the required height. Okay. Okay. Wobbly. Oh, remember my old one. Isn't that wobbly? Pretty firm, pretty solid actually. Now this bar extend outwards. Wow, it's quite dark in here actually. Here's with my headlamp. It's middle of the day. Yeah, I can see why people are concerned that water pools up there, because that hangs down. Oh, nice. Here's your, this is your shelter that it comes with, like an outdoor changing shelter. Sand-free mat. Cool. Here's your bag for your bedding. And storage pockets. Oh, that's nice. A little clear spot to put an iPad or a tablet. It is pretty roomy in here. As with anything, there's a learning curve when you first use it. Even the Smittybilt Gen 2, I had to really get used to that thing. And setting it up, what to do. Everything's so stiff from having never been used. Jeez. Okay, Roofnest, I'm a little confused what this zipper is here. I thought maybe it connects to this to kind of seal that this awning off, so you got like protection from wind blowing rain in there, but this is Velcro or hook and loop. I think this is to attach like a further shelter awning. It's just an open area, you know, wind or rain could get through there. Be nice to have this completely sheltered if you're, you know, going to put your shoes on or something when you exit the tent. One thing that you could look at as a con or just a design, it's not really a flaw, but it's a result of having a fold-out platform, is there's going to be this gap in the fabric here that goes to inside that's not perfectly weather sealed, but they do give you a flap here with Velcro to kind of tuck that in. And I guess this is to, you could add a hook somewhere or just use that to pull that. I'm not too concerned. The Smittybilt had the same issue because it was a, you know, fold open tent and it had this, but I would just tuck that as against that Velcro as much as possible. This here's your one of your vents for heat or AC. Put a hose right there and kind of seal it off. That's nice. There's one on the other side as well. Got your 2 bags here for storing your shoes and the like, or whatever other items you might want to put there that you don't want, that don't necessarily need to be with you. It's kind of nice, they're already attached in here. Kind of slide it along a little bit. Okay, I finally figured out what the deal was with these awning poles and it not being very taut. You have to put them in, push them into these holes at a 45-degree angle, and there's kind of a setback in there. You can't really see it. It's similar with the Smittybilt tent I had, but that was more out in the open and you could see exactly that it was supposed to go in, where it was supposed to go in and the angle. But that's not as obvious here with this little hole, little, I don't know what you call this, a bracket with a hole in it. But as you can see here, it's now really pretty taut and doesn't look, I mean, this looks more like, you know, the water will run off of it instead of pooling right there. And this is how it's supposed to be set up. All right, I just noticed something here while getting things kind of situated inside the tent. This upper corners of where the fabric attaches to the hard shell, there's a kind of an opening. I believe that just goes straight outside. There's no webbing or anything. Like that's a pretty big gap there. I mean, water could get in, bugs could climb in there. I mean, there's one on this side too. You have to go look at it on the outside. I'm pretty sure that just opens up to the outside there. That's not something I wanted to see. I mean, it's pretty sealed. Oh, there is kind of an opening there as well. And I thought this is going to be pretty more sealed than that. I mean, actually, what I mentioned earlier about these gaps here, there's fabric on both sides that you can cover this up. This is actually better than what I had before. And I never had any issues with anything getting in. But it just, a little bit concerned about those upper corners there. I just know how creepy crawlies can get in and ruin your day. And that's kind of why you want a very good quality tent, because they're usually very sealed. All the ground tents I've had, yeah, there's no openings at all, and nothing can really get in if everything's zipped up properly. And that's pretty much been the case with my Smitty built tent that I had. I was pretty satisfied with that, but there being that gap there, oh, that's I mean, it probably won't be an issue, but just knowing that's there, I might just put something there to kind of seal that, or stuff in there. Maybe there's something in here that's supposed to help with that. It just looks like something that they could have done, something about. So I'm sure glad I'm getting this thing open and testing it out before actually just taking it on an actual camping trip, just because there's a little bit of a learning curve with setting it up. Even though it's fairly simple, and it's going to be much quicker to open than the Smitty built Gen 2 rooftop tent that I had, there's still some nuances with it, some things I'm not used to or haven't dealt with before, and I just want to be able to know what I'm getting into. So the first night I camp with this thing, it'll just hopefully go really smooth. And I know a lot of people say this isn't the most comfortable mattress and that you should always replace these, but I was actually pretty satisfied with the Smitty builds. This has yet to be tested, but I mean, it's a nice comfortable pad to me. I mean, once I actually sleep on it, time will tell. And I'm parked kind of, our driveway's got a 4-degree incline to it, so this isn't exactly how, hopefully I'll have it leveled more when I actually park with it, camp with it. Oh, but the floor feels solid. You can see underneath. Oh, I'm surprised. I thought they would include a condensation pad. Come on, Roofnest. Paid top dollar for this thing. I expect it to have everything. Just about. So far, it's really impressed me. The build quality of it's nice. I bought my Smitty build tent used, but it was used but never used. So, but everything seems to be really good quality, at least as good as the Smitty builds. Much actually better. They pay more attention to detail on certain things, but then, you know, I thought the condensation mat was something that they just all included, but it never, my Smitty built didn't have a condensation mat in it, and only one time did I camp with it where there was really bad condensation, with actually frozen condensation, but it didn't soak through the pad, or it didn't affect, you know, I didn't get wet or anything like that. But who knows? I mean, if it was wet enough for long enough, it could have. One thing that's really nice too is they got this compartment here to put your poles in, your awning poles. That's really nice. Like, I had a bag with the Smitty built, but not a built-in place to put your poles, which funny because they give you this bag. I guess you could put it into 2 different bags, or you could choose not to keep it in here. And here's the skylight. It's huge. This is a huge opening compared to what I'm used to. But yeah, I just worry about water pooling up in here in a heavy rain, as some people have said. Now I do notice this pole here is arched. I think that's to help rainwater you know, fall off of this and not pool up in here, but time will tell. I've never really camped with a rooftop tent too much during a downpouring rain. I've had plenty of ground tents in the rain, but for some reason I've just gotten really lucky. In the 30 nights that I had the Smitty build, I never really had, you know, a rain that really tested it. I had some light rain and some morning dew and stuff like that. Who knows, that'll probably change with this. The luck will probably change with this. We'll probably won't be too far into my experience with this, and we'll probably have something like that, but we'll see. Time will tell. Actually, I'll look forward to it. I really want to see if this thing can stand up to, you know, whatever Mother Nature has to dish at it. They market this as being waterproof, you know, the tent itself. This should be able to handle everything. Well, good morning. We survived the night. But last night, right before I went to bed, one major flaw of these foldable rooftop tents, and something I've been worried about, came to light. And as I was about to go to sleep, I had this LED light on right here. So it was kind of dark over here. But there was a small mouse or a rat, or probably a little mouse, inside the tent. I saw something moving in the corner, out of the corner of my eye. It was down in this area, and it moved over to here and then back to here. And then I grabbed something and like did this to kind of scare it out. I didn't want it running all over the place. But the thing I worried about when I was first checking this tent out is just the size of the gap here. You know, I was like, how'd that mouse even get up here? And I think it climbed up the ladder. It's a tiny little mouse, probably about a couple inches big. That was a little unnerving, because I'm like, man, just came to your place of sanctuary, you know, protected from the elements. And the tent did great. It was kind of windy last night. And the way they designed this, the fabric doesn't really flap as much as like the previous tent I had, the Smitty built. It doesn't flap around as much as that tent did when it got windy. Which was kind of nice, and it kept the temperature pretty nice and cozy in here. I think it dipped down to maybe the 40s. But man, it's got to be a way to cover that hole up to prevent, you know, things like that. I mean, you don't want to be sleeping and mouse is going all through your tent, and just, I don't know. I've never had that issue with any other tent, or I've never had that happen with any other tent I've ever owned. So first time for everything, I guess. Hopefully that'll be a rarity, but you know, they have these little tiny mice out in the desert rats. They're everywhere, and man, they can get in everywhere, I guess. You leave the tiniest little entryway and they'll find a way in. Well, that's going to wrap it up for this episode. I think overall, the verdict is still out on how much or exactly what I think of the Roofnest Condor 2XL. Initially, I'd gone back and forth between having this tent or the Roofnest Falcon tent, which would have been a one-piece, no foldable floor rooftop tent. and that might have been a better option, but I did like the fact that I don't have to stow away the ladder with this one, and it just had overall more room on the interior, a larger footprint when this is open than the Falcon would have. But we'll see, time will tell. But this is my initial setup and review of the Condor 2XL mounted to the Leitner rack on my 2022 Ram Power Wagon. I hope you enjoyed this or found it useful. Please like and subscribe to the channel and hit the bell to be notified of the next video where you get to see my full first experience taking this rooftop tent out on an overlanding style adventure. As always, take care and we'll see you next time.